Hey folks, and welcome to week number 9. Now this is actually spring break week, so this is just kind of some homework to work on over the week. It's a pretty light week as well. I do want you guys to be able to have a little bit of break, do some catch up if you need to do catch up, but ultimately be able to take a little bit of a breather too. It's important for you guys to rest, to stay healthy, obviously, in the midst of this. So don't and the last 8 weeks of class are going to go pretty quick, and they're going to be pretty full. So do take an opportunity to rest up and get kind of ready for that. So this week, obviously, watch the week 9 video. You're doing that right now. Look at your feedback on your Essay 3 proposal. That'll be back in D2L. As always, you can go to assessment and then assignments, and you can go in and see your feedback right there. Okay, if I gave you a good thumbs up on it, I think you're good to move on. If I said, nah, we need to reconsider the article or something of that sort, you either need to find a new one, or if you're struggling, you can click here. And this is actually just a big page of articles, memes. You can see some of these are images, some of them are PDFs. It sort of depends on what they are. Almost all things I just came across in social media over time. I would see something that kind of struck my mind as interesting, and made me kind of go, all right. So you can come in. You are free to use one of those if you want. Obviously, I want you to choose something that you're interested in and that you want to do research on, because you're going to be doing some research on this. I don't want you to be spending your time doing something you are just completely uninterested in. So if there's something there that interests you, absolutely feel free to pick it. If not, those should give you a good idea at the very least of the sorts of things we're looking for. Okay? Then I want you to continue the research discussion round 3. What you're going to find is in Google Drive, I have added another column here for you. Okay, and really what I want you to be thinking about here is who would collect and publish this information. And this is sort of the process we go through. Okay, what claims does it make? What information do we need to prove or disprove those claims? And then who would actually put this information out? We need to think about what organization, what agency. Let's be as specific as possible. So, for example, the Consumer Confidence Index in that first article, there's a group that actually puts that out. We would need to know who that group is and where they house that data. Okay? So what I want you to be doing here is sort of identifying where you would go to find this information. And by this, I don't mean Google. What I mean here is what group might have this information. That might require some initial Googling to figure out who actually houses this information. Okay? So that's what I want you to work on as a group this week as well. And we'll kind of continue this, finish that up next week, and then we'll kind of move into the next step of our process here. Okay? Now, so that gets us through the feedback on Essay 3 proposal, the research discussion. Then the last thing here this week is to break down your big research question. Now, I'm going to show you this on a sample. There's a video here. Please watch that video. It's really going to help you out. Okay. And basically the idea here is that if your research question is something that you can just punch into Google and get an answer to, well, the work's already been done. There's nothing for you to do. And that's problematic because our goal here is to answer a question that to which the answer is not unknown, or to which the answer is not known. Now, in order to do that, you shouldn't be able to just search your big research question. We need to break it down into smaller chunks, okay? So, a great example here, the risks and adverse side effects associated with using marijuana to treat depression and anxiety any greater than the risks and adverse side effects associated with using SSRIs and benzodiazepines to treat depression and anxiety. So the red part here is your central research question. This is is this article true or not? Now, of course, I want you to put the central claim of your article in there or meme in there. So what's the specific claim you're investigating here? And then in green, we need to break this into smaller chunks. So in order to be able to answer this question, of course, we would need to know what are the potential side effects of SSRIs? What are the how do they work? How do anxiety medications work? How common are the adverse side effects of these antidepressants? How does depression affect the brain? So we're going to need to, and this isn't just background information. So the idea here isn't that it's just background information, but really and truly that we can break this up. So we would need to know what the side effects are of using marijuana. We need to know how effective it is at treating depression. We need to know how effective it is at treating anxiety. We need to know what the side effects are of using SSRIs. We need to know how effective it is for depression, how effective it is for anxiety. We would need to know what the side effects are with benzodiazepines and what the effectiveness is with depression and anxiety. So if we look at this totally, we've got 9 questions immediately that we can see here, right? And our goal here is to break this into smaller chunks that have been researched. Then we can take the research we find, put that all together into what's called a secondary source, and then answer our broader question, which theoretically hasn't been answered yet. Now, you're going to note that right now, the blue and orange areas, and I'm sorry if you're colorblind, I did color code this just for the sake of making it a little bit easier for folks to use. This week, all we're doing is the red and green section. I don't want you to actually answer these questions. That is not necessary right now. When we come back from spring break, the first thing we will do is a research workshop to learn about how to actually do the research. All I want you to be thinking about right now is getting these questions broken down into smaller chunks. Okay, so there are 2 sample research questions here. There are 15 questions on this template that you can download. You don't need to fill in all 15. If you only have 9 questions, that's fine. If you need to add more, just copy and paste and add more. Okay? If you have any questions along the way, please don't hesitate to let me know. And again, no answers right now. All we're trying to do is break the big question down into smaller ones. All right? If you got any questions, give me a holler.